Hi BookTube, Sarah here and welcome to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with a tag video for Tag Tuesday. Why not? It just so happened to work out that way. Just a few days ago I was tagged by the lovely Karen over at Rather Be Reading for the middle grade book tag. And thank you very much, Karen, for tagging me. I will leave a link to her video in the description box below, so definitely go ahead and check that out. And this tag was created by the Curly Reader, and I will leave a link to her video, of course, also in the description box below. So I don't read a ton of middle grade, to be completely honest. I am rereading my way through the Babysitters Club series, which is considered middle grade. I did look it up just to see exactly what age range they consider middle grade to be, and they say books geared towards 8 to 12-year-olds. So some of the books I am going to talk about, the Babysitters Club is one of them, would be considered middle grade. And that's pretty much the most of my experience, since I was actually a middle grader. But I will do my best to answer these questions because they do look like a lot of fun. I read through them once, but I really haven't thought about them, so I'm just kind of doing this off the fly. So I think this will be a lot of fun. So question number 1, what is the last middle grade book you read? This is easy. Just last week I finished reading The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise by Dan Gingenhart, I think is his name. It was amazing. It was actually a 5-star read, you guys. I loved it so much. If you are not familiar with what it's about a 13-year-old girl, named Coyote, who 5 years prior to the beginning of the book, her mom and sisters were killed in a car accident. And after the accident, her father bought this old bus and kind of converted it into a home of sorts, and the two of them have been crisscrossing the country for the last 5 years. And she speaks to her grandmother every week, and she finds out that the park in the town that they used to live in, like before they started this, crisscross country road trip, that the park is going to be demolished and paved over to make a parking lot. And a little while before her mom and sisters passed away, they had all written letters to each other and put them in this memory box and buried them under a tree. She needs to see the tree in order to know exactly which one it's buried under, and her so she can't tell her grandmother which one it is because she doesn't know. So now she's got to sneakily try and get her father to go from Florida to Washington State in 4 days so she can retrieve this memory box before it's paved over into a parking lot. It is an amazing story. Along the way, they pick up a host of different characters, and it was wonderful and magical. It made me cry. It was so good, and I absolutely recommend it. The next one. What is a middle grade book someone read to you as a child? This is a bittersweet question for me, and I knew it would be when I saw it. Surprisingly, it was my dad did most of the reading with me. He loved to read to me and my brother. That was kind of his time with us when he got home from work. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, so she had my brother and I all day, and then when Dad came home after dinner, that was reading time. And some of my fondest memories, I'm trying not to cry. For those of you who are relatively new to my channel, I lost my dad just 2 months ago. He's the one who got me started on the Babysitters Club because he picked me up my first ones. He read Little House on the Prairie to us. He read Alice in Wonderland to me, which is still one of my favorites. But if I had to pick one that sticks out in my mind, it was The Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett, I think is how you say the author's name. She also wrote The Secret Garden, which I know is probably the more famous of the books that she's written. But A Little Princess is always the one that stands out to me because Dad got it for me. He used to buy us, he was huge on buying us books too. And he bought it for me because the main character's name is Sarah. Sarah Crew. And she is a very well-to-do and spoiled little girl who ends up at this boarding school, I believe, while her father goes off to war. And so she has all this money, and she has a doll that has all the same clothes as her, and then her dad ends up either missing in action or is killed. I'm pretty sure it's missing in action. It's been a number of years since I've read it. I'd love to do a reread of that book. And now she has no more money, so they can't exactly kick this little girl out on the street. So she ends up living in the attic, and she is pretty much now a servant to all the other little girls at the school. And she befriends a man who lives across the way, and he has a monkey, and I just, I think Dad probably read it to me 2 or 3 times when I was a kid. But yeah, that would be the one that would stick out the most in my mind. Um, what was your favorite? Excuse me. What was your favorite middle grade book as a child? That one's easy. I am rereading my way through the series, the entire Babysitters Club series. This is the first book I have right here, Christy's Great Idea. I own copies of the first 4, and I own a copy of this one as well in hardcover that I found at a thrift store. That was probably a library edition. And I also got, now that they're coming out with them, oops, sorry for shaking the camera, the graphic novels, which I absolutely love as well. So yes, I am a huge fan. This is the series that really got me into reading on my own. Like I just talked about, Dad used to read to us a lot, but this was the series when he bought me these first ones. It wasn't actually the first 4 books in the series. The first ones that I got were Dawn on the Coast, Marianne, the one where Tigger goes missing. Marianne and the Great Search. No, it wasn't Marianne and the Great Search. That was something else. It wasn't just Marianne and Missing Tigger. I can't remember. I'll try and put it here if I remember. But yeah, that one, Christy and the Mother's Day Surprise, and I can't remember the 4th one. But it came in a box set. Originally, the first 20 or 30 books in the series, you could actually buy them in 4 book sets, like box sets. And I got that box set from my dad. So yeah, Marianne and the Search for Tigger. That's what it was called. It just took me a minute. But yeah, those were the original 4. Oh, I wonder if it's here. It was book, I think 23, 24, 25, and 26 were the ones that I had. The original ones. But then, yeah, I became addicted to these, and now I am doing a reread through the entire series. What is your favorite middle grade book as an adult? Is it cheating if I say the same thing? Again, I don't read a ton of middle grade. I read a fair amount of it, but actually, I love, like I already mentioned the Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise, but there is a series that I bought my niece a couple years ago for her birthday. It's actually a graphic novel series, and it's called Phoebe and Her Unicorn, and I did actually read them before I gave them to her. Just, very carefully. I wasn't like, cracking the spine. I was just like reading through them. But it is delightful. It's about a little girl and her unicorn. How can you not love that? And it's a graphic novel series. And my niece isn't huge, like a huge. She likes to read, but she doesn't read nearly as much as her dad, my brother does, and I do, and, Grandpa did, and stuff like that. But she does enjoy books, but I think the graphic novels are really what made her realize it's a comic book, but I'm reading, you know what I mean? So if your kids are kind of hesitant, maybe check that one out because it's really delightful and the artwork in it is fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Who was your favorite middle grade author? Again, I'm going to cheat. Anna Martin. Sorry. That's my childhood. This is my childhood right here. I did not go on trips. I did not go to school. I did not, do anything without one of these books in my backpack. Like these came with me everywhere. And I can remember going on trips and my mom would buy me a bunch of them. And the one year that we went to Myrtle Beach for vacation, we drove down, which was a 2.5-day drive, by the way, from Toronto to Myrtle Beach. We stopped along the way. But Mom had to dole these out to me like candy because I would literally just sit and read the whole thing and be like, next one, please. But she would make me wait. So I had to read through them slowly. But yeah, favorite author. What middle grade book do you think should be required reading in school? Do you know what? Now that I've read it and I loved it so much, I would actually have to say The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise. I know I'm going to mention it again, but it was so good. And I mean, I think it teaches kids a lot about diversity and about grief and about what family is. It's got such a good message to it. I know it just came out, I think it was last year, but oh my gosh, like really, I read it and I said to my mom, I want to pass this on to my niece. Like I listened to it on audio, but I want to go out and buy a copy for Katie to read as well. The other one, and I don't know whether it'd be actually considered middle grade or not, and I would say, and I know it is kind of taught in schools, but not as much as maybe it should be, because I actually asked my niece, and she's like, no, we're not, is Anne of Green Gables, especially for Canadian children, because it is such a Canadian iconic book. I actually myself have never read it. I know, craziness, right? And I did try. I know that there's an Anne of Green Gables read along going on right now on BookTube, and I tried to start it, and I just couldn't get into it. You know, maybe it would have been better if I'd read it as a child. I might try it again on audio to see if I can get into it, but yeah, I'm surprised considering how iconic it is. You know, you can't think of Prince Edward Island in Canada without thinking of Anne of Green Gables. No matter where you live, like people in the US probably assume that as well. So yeah, I am disappointed. Maybe I'll try it again. I've got a gorgeous edition. Maybe that'll be one of my goals this summer. We shall see. And the next one, what is your favorite middle grade book cover? So this is a book I actually just recently purchased, and I'm bummed because I didn't get the cover I wanted. The cover that I wanted actually has a step back to it. And if I can find a picture of the step back, I will put it up here. But the book is Big for Christmas, and this is Francine Pascal's Sweet Valley Twins. Yes, this is actually considered middle grade. It's ages 8 to 12. It says so right on the back. I double checked. But this was a really fun story. I remember reading this one as a kid. The Sweet Valley books I was into, as well as the Babysitters Club. Not as much as the Babysitters Club, but I definitely really enjoyed these. And I think as I got a bit older, I was reading this, of course, the Sweet Valley High. But I did go back and pick up the occasional Sweet Valley Twins novel. I really, really wish these were available on Kindle or available for an ebook, because I would reread through this series as well. But anyway, Big for Christmas is about the sisters. It's very much a takeoff of the 13 going on 30 movie, if you guys have ever seen it. Or, you know, Big with Tom Hanks way back in the day. And, you know, essentially they want to go to this party. They're only 12. And they want to go to this party, and their mom's like, no, it's, you know, there's some high school kids there. You're far too young for that. So they both kind of make a Christmas wish that they'd like to be older. And then when they wake up in the morning, they are. But the original cover, not the one that I got, I've got to hunt it out, because this had like, you pulled this back, and inside were the twins, like older, in the same outfits, and it's delightful. It's just so cute. And I love the way this cover's done with them here, and then you open it up and you've got the other cover. So sweet, and I thought it was adorable. But yeah, I really love these. Are like considered to be like the special editions in the Sweet Valley Twins universe. But yeah, super delightful. And last but not least, what is your favorite middle grade book to screen adaptation? I don't know. I'm gonna cheat again, and I'm gonna say it was the Babysitters Club movie. For anyone who saw it, it came out many years ago. I want to say the 90s almost. Rachel Lee Cook played Mary Ann. Skylar Frisk, is that her name? Played Christy. Larissa, I can't remember her last name, played Dawn. I actually saw it in theater. It came out over summer vacation, and I saw it in theater. I owned the CD. Now, I was older when it came out. Like, I wasn't 12 or 13 or 14 years old. I was probably in my late teens. I'll have to do the math when I look up what, you know what? Let's see what year it came out in, because I'm totally curious. Sorry, just bear with just a second, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. It came out in 1995. I was 16 years old when that movie came out. So, sort of kind of the age range that they were looking at. But out of curiosity, what is that, 35 years? No, 25 years ago, you guys. 25 years ago, that movie came out. God, I feel old now. I love the heck out of that movie. Now, those of you who might be in the know who are following this, the Babysitters Club is actually coming to Netflix. They're doing a 10 half-hour episode revamp or reboot, I guess it is. And I'm super looking forward to it. It looks delightful. But yeah, the original movie, though, I have to admit that the characters that they got, the actors and actresses that they got to play the characters in this movie were exactly as I would have pictured them. I absolutely love the heck out of that movie. Totally cute and adorable. Absolutely check it out. I think it's available on YouTube. You can actually buy it to like watch if you want. I don't know where else it might be available streaming, but yeah, I don't even think you can buy it on DVD, which is sad. But yeah, definitely check that one out if you haven't. So anyway, that is all for this tag. I do hope that you guys enjoyed it. I know a lot of my answers were similar, but this, as I said, this was my childhood. And you know, I absolutely loved the heck out of the Babysitters Club. You know, I had this just happened to be within here. Yeah, you know, like it was my childhood. And in case anyone's wondering, I definitely identified as Dawn growing up. I always like to think I was like Dawn. But yeah. So anyway, guys, that's all that I have. I'm not going to tag anybody because I don't, it's the end of March and I know it was like middle grade March. But if you are a middle grade book reader, feel free to do this tag whenever you want. If you want to do this tag in April or May or whatever, please do. And let me know. And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.